As always, it is so great to be here with you, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy out there. Anyways, today we're making a pasta recipe that's not only visually stunning, but it's got a ton of great flavors to it. We're talking stuffed pasta shells with spinach and Manchego cheese, and we're gonna serve them next to a bold and hearty tomato sauce. And let me tell you, when I say this dish has a ton of great flavors to it, I actually mean an explosion of so much goodness. Folks, not only is this recipe very easy to make, but if you serve it next to a crunchy baguette to mop up that delicious tomato sauce, a garden salad, and a bottle of Spanish wine, you're gonna have yourself one heck of a Mediterranean meal. Let's begin by filling a stock pot with some cold water. You wanna go to a little over the halfway point. Then we'll season generously with sea salt and heat it with a high heat. At the same time, I'm gonna heat a large fry pan with a medium heat and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 35 milliliters. After about 1 minute, I'm gonna add in 1 small onion that I finely chopped, 1 carrot that's been peeled and finely chopped as well, and 6 cloves of garlic that have been roughly chopped. And we'll mix the vegetables around, that way they're all coated in that olive oil, and we're gonna go for about 3 to 4 minutes here. After about 4 minutes, and the vegetables are lightly sauteed, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.30 grams, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, which is 2 grams, and 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, which weighs in at about 1 gram. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika and herbs are evenly coating all the vegetables. As always, the Spanish paprika that I'm using is from Kiva. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in a 14.5 ounce can of tomato sauce, which is 410 grams, and a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes, which once again is 410 grams. Then we'll season with sea salt, a generous portion of freshly cracked black pepper, and a pinch of white sugar to get the acid from the canned tomatoes. And we'll give it one final mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together. And we'll lower the fire to a low heat, that way the sauce can simmer and all the flavors can develop. Alright, let's move back to the stock pot. As you can see, the water's now at a boil, so it's time to add in the pasta. For this recipe, I'm using jumbo pasta shells. Important to use jumbo size here, otherwise you won't be able to fill them with the filling. I'm going to add in the box into the stock pot, which is 12 ounces or 340 grams. And you don't have to mix this continuously, but do get in there every 1 to 2 minutes. That way the pasta shells don't stick together and they all evenly cook. Once the pasta shells are cooked al dente, which is exactly 9 minutes in my case, so make sure to check the package instructions in the pasta shells that you're using. I'm going to remove the stock pot from the heat and we'll drain it into a colander. We'll shake off any of the excess water, and we'll transfer the pasta shells into a baking tray, and you want to make sure they're all separated from each other. This is going to ensure that once they cool off, they don't stick to each other. In the meantime, let's start making the spinach and Manchego cheese filling. I'm going to add in 425 grams of ricotta cheese into a food processor. This is about 15 ounces. Along with a 1/4 kilogram of shredded Manchego cheese, which is about half a pound. The Manchego that I'm using has been aged for 3 months. 1 clove of garlic that's been roughly chopped, and 1 large egg. And we'll pulse the food processor between 30 seconds to 1 minute or until all the ingredients are well mixed. Then we'll start adding in some fresh spinach. I'm going to add in a total of 275 grams, which is about 10 ounces. And you want to add the spinach in there in batches and then run the food processor, as it's all not going to fit in there at the same time. As for the spinach that I'm using, this is fresh bagged spinach. As you know, I love this stuff because it's pre-cleaned and pre-cut, but to make this recipe, you can also use frozen spinach. Just make sure you fully thaw it out and pat it completely dry. Once all the spinach has been added and everything is well mixed, I'm going to season the mixture with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it one final pulse, that way the seasonings are evenly mixed into the mixture. Then we'll start stuffing the mixture into the pasta shells, which are now slightly cooled off, and we're going to add in about 2 spoonfuls into each pasta shell. And let me tell you, you want to be very gentle here, otherwise you can easily break those pasta shells apart. Okay, let's move back to our tomato sauce. It's been simmering between 20 to 25 minutes, and as you can see, it's really thickened up and all the flavors have developed. At this point, I'm going to remove the pan from the heat, transfer the tomato sauce into a casserole dish. The size of the one that I'm using is 33 centimeters by 23 centimeters, which is about 13 inches by 9 inches. Then we'll add in our stuffed shells over the tomato sauce, making sure they're on a single layer and tightly compacted together. We'll cover the casserole dish with some foil paper. And we'll add the casserole dish into a preheated oven, bake only option. That's just the bottom heat, 190 degrees Celsius, which is 375 degrees Fahrenheit. After about 25 to 30 minutes, this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the casserole dish from the oven. And for the final touches, we'll finely grate in a kiss of cheese over the pasta shells. I'm using mozzarella cheese, but you can use whatever cheese you like. And we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our spinach and Manchego stuffed shells with a hearty tomato sauce is done. Beautiful presentation, incredible aromas coming out of it, and truly the kind of food that's gonna fill your body with so much goodness. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Pasta lovers around the world reunite for this amazing dish. Here we go. Absolutely delicious. You know, we've done so many different pasta dishes here on Spain on a Fork, but this one right here in particular sits up there with the best of them. You got those pasta shells beautifully cooked with that filling. It's got magical flavors and that hearty tomato sauce, taking things to the next level. Once again, serve this dish next to a crunchy baguette, a garden salad, and a bottle of Spanish wine. You're gonna have yourself one of the best Mediterranean meals ever. Really quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Sam Cohen, Kent Anderson, Grace Suarez, Amy Martinez, and Nancy T. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.